Manually checking competitor pricing, messaging, and reviews every month is a tedious time sink, and half of what you find doesn't really even matter. So I built an automated competitor monitoring system with OttoKit. It analyzes 3 competitors monthly, comparing their pricing, homepage positioning, and recent Trustpilot reviews, and drafts a complete competitor intelligence brief in Gmail. Let me show you how it works. So what you're looking at here is the final report created by the workflow. At the top, I have an executive summary covering the biggest developments across all 3 competitors. The report then breaks down each company individually, including what changed, what customers are saying, why it may matter, if anything might be worth monitoring. AI also looks across all 3 competitors for broader patterns. In this report, for example, it identified the growing emphasis on AI agents across the automation category, along with meaningful differences in how these companies structure their pricing. In the customer reviews, it picked up recurring frustration around pricing changes and communication. The entire report was created automatically from the information gathered and stored by OttoKit. Now, this is a fairly substantial workflow, so I'm not going to go into rebuilding every action step from scratch because we'd be here for a long time. Instead, I'll walk through how each section works and spend more time on the AI analysis that turns that raw information into something useful. Now, the workflow begins here with a monthly schedule, and I'm using an OttoKit table to store the competitors being monitored, including their homepage, pricing page, and Trustpilot URLs. The table is also acting as the memory layer for the system, so it stores the previous and current pricing snapshots, positioning snapshots, review analysis, and the last time each competitor was checked, and the latest intelligence brief. After retrieving the table records, a formatter action separates the individual record IDs. Then I have a loop action here that processes those competitors one at a time. So for each competitor, OttoKit retrieves the complete table row using its unique record ID. That ensures the correct URLs, previous snapshots, and final report are always connected to the correct company. For the review data, I'm using a Trustpilot scraper from Apify. OttoKit sends the competitor's Trustpilot URL to the scraper through an API request. The URL is inserted dynamically from the current competitor's table record, so the same API action works for every company inside the loop. I've limited the results to the 5 most recent reviews and filtered the response so AutoKit receives only the rating, the review title, and the review text. That keeps the data clean and avoids passing a pile of unnecessary reviewer information into the AI step. The reviews are then sent to OpenAI for analysis. Now, this AI step goes beyond the simple labeling the reviews as positive or negative. It identifies the overall sentiment within the recent sample, recurring praise and frustrations, customer expectations compared with their actual experience, and maybe some isolated concerns and possible opportunities worth investigating. Next, OttoKit scrapes the competitor's pricing page. So rather than storing the entire web page, the AI extracts a structured pricing snapshot. That includes plan names, current prices, billing options, usage limits, trials and free plans, promotions, guarantees, and the major differences between plans. And this creates a clean baseline that can be compared with a future version of that pricing page. The AI is also instructed to flag uncertainty rather than make assumptions. For example, if the page mentions task top-ups but does not clearly display the additional cost, the snapshot identifies that information as unclear. The same process happens with the homepage or main product page. The AI extracts the most important positioning signals, such as the primary headline or the main target audience, maybe the central value proposition, or the problem being solved, or maybe the main call to action, and maybe the 3 most prominently featured use cases. It can also identify explicit comparison claims. That means the workflow can detect more than a rewritten headline. It can identify whether a competitor has shifted from targeting small businesses to agencies, moved more heavily toward enterprise customers, or changed from general automation messaging to an AI-first position. So once the 3 current analyses are complete, another AI step compares them with the information already stored in the OttoKit table. So this comparison step is instructed to ignore the formatting changes, reordered information, slightly different summaries, cosmetic web page edits, and minor wording changes. Instead, it classifies the result as an initial baseline with no meaningful change or minor change or a meaningful change or a high priority change. It then explains what changed across pricing, positioning, and customer sentiment, along with the likely business significance. The workflow updates the competitor's table row with the new snapshots and stores the completed intelligence brief. The loop then moves to the next competitor. After every competitor in the table has been processed, OttoKit retrieves the newly updated intelligence briefs from the table. Then I have a final AI step here that combines them into one monthly competitor intelligence report. And again, this step does not simply paste the 3 reports together. It looks for patterns across the market, including similar positioning shifts, common customer frustrations, pricing and packaging trends, changes in target audiences, and developments that may be worth monitoring over time. The report is formatted as email safe HTML and saved as a Gmail draft for review. Now, I chose to create a draft rather than automatically sending it because competitive intelligence still benefits from a quick human review before it gets distributed. Now, here's a couple of thoughts on competitor tracking. Now, there is an important distinction between monitoring competitors and allowing competitors to define your strategy. So here are a few do's and don'ts. Do pay attention to recurring customer frustrations. If multiple customers repeatedly mention confusing pricing, difficult onboarding, weak support, or a missing feature, that may reveal a genuine opportunity worth investigating. Also, do look for patterns over time. A single homepage edit or negative review may not mean very much. A consistent change in positioning or a repeated customer complaint is far more useful. And do compare what you find against your own customer research, strengths, and priorities. But don't copy a competitor's positioning simply because it appears to be working. And don't automatically match their pricing or features. Also, don't constantly mention competitors by name in your own marketing and give them free advertising. The goal is not to become a slightly different version of the company you are monitoring. It is to understand the market more clearly and sharpen what makes your own business valuable to a particular group of customers. Now, for this workflow, I focused on pricing, homepage, positioning, and Trustpilot reviews. But you could expand the same system to monitor things like product announcements, change logs and feature releases, blog content, YouTube videos, advertising campaigns, job postings, email promotions, practically any other accessible data source that matters to your business. You could also add your own company's pricing, positioning, and differentiators as a reference point for the AI, so that the AI could explain not only what competitors changed, but how those developments compare with what your own company currently offers. So there you have it, an automated competitor monitoring system built with OttoKit. The purpose is not to react to every move your competitors make, it is to spend less time manually gathering information and more time deciding which insights are actually relevant to your business. So, a question for you, what competitor information would be most useful for your business to monitor? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe so that you can get notified when new videos like this go up on the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.